A poor waitress took a bullet for a stranger in a diner. She thought it was over. But that bullet triggered a chain of deaths no one could stop. He visited her every night, not to thank her, but to ask one question that would change both their lives forever. The answer she gave cost more blood than either of them imagined. If you're new here, subscribe and comment your location. Now let's begin. The plate slipped from Alina's hand and shattered on the floor. She watched the gun rise, watched the barrel turn toward the man at table 12, the quiet one who always ordered black coffee and never caused trouble. Her body moved before her brain caught up. She didn't think about being brave. She didn't think about dying. She just moved. The bullet hit her shoulder and spun her sideways. The pain came later. First came the sound, like a firecracker going off inside her ear. Then the floor rushing up to meet her face. Then voices shouting. Then hands on her back, warm and steady. "Don't move." His voice was calm, too calm for a moment like this. "Stay down." Alina tried to speak, but only managed a wet cough. The diner smelled like coffee and gunpowder. She heard more shots, screaming, running feet, but the hands on her back never moved. Someone was dying, she could hear it. The wet choking sounds, the begging, then silence. When she opened her eyes again, she was in a hospital bed. A nurse was adjusting her IV. The shoulder hurt like someone had poured gasoline into the wound and lit a match. "You're lucky," the nurse said. "Bullet went clean through, no permanent damage." Alina wasn't sure luck had anything to do with it. Her mother came by that afternoon, crying and angry in equal measure. "What were you thinking? You could have died." Alina didn't have a good answer. She hadn't been thinking. That was the problem. The police came next. 2 detectives. They asked questions about the shooting, about the man at table 12, about what she'd seen. Alina told them the truth. A man came in with a gun. She moved without thinking. Everything after that was blurry. They didn't believe her. She could see it in their faces, but they left anyway. That night he came. Table 12, the quiet man. He looked different in the hospital light, taller somehow. His suit was dark and perfectly fitted. His face was hard, all sharp angles and cold eyes. But his hands were gentle when he pulled up a chair and sat beside her bed. "You jumped in front of a bullet," he said. Not a question, just a statement of fact. "I guess I did." "Why?" Alina looked at him, really looked. His eyes were gray like storm clouds. His jaw was tight. He wasn't here to say thank you. He was here for an answer. "I don't know," she said. "It just happened." "Nothing just happens." He leaned forward. "People don't jump in front of bullets for strangers, so tell me why." She wanted to look away but couldn't. Those eyes held her in place. "You come to the diner every Tuesday and Thursday. You order black coffee. You leave a $20 tip on a $3 check. You never bother anyone. You read the paper. You mind your business." She paused. "When I saw that gun pointed at you, I just thought you didn't deserve that." Something changed in his face. Not a smile, not exactly, but a shift, like a door opening just a crack. "My name is Dante," he said. "Alina." "I know." He stood up. "Your bills are paid, all of them. Someone will be outside your door tonight, and every night until you're healed." "Why?" "Because you gave me something I can't repay, but I can keep you alive." He walked toward the door. "The man who shot at you," Alina said. "Is he dead?" Dante stopped, didn't turn around. "Yes." "Did you kill him?" "Does it matter?" "I just want to know if it's over." He turned then. His face was empty, cold. "It's never over. You jumped in front of a bullet for me, Alina. That means something in my world. It means people will want to know why. It means you're part of this now, whether you want to be or not." "Part of what?" But he was already gone. The guard outside her door was named Marco. He was young, maybe 25, with an easy smile and careful eyes. He brought her magazines, asked if she needed anything, never left his post. On the second night, a different man tried to visit. Marco stopped him at the door. Alina heard voices, angry voices, then nothing. "Who was that?" Alina asked when Marco checked on her. "Nobody important." "Marco." He sighed. A reporter, asking questions about the shooting, about Mr. Morty. I sent him away. This is going to get worse, isn't it? Marco didn't answer. He didn't have to. Dante came every night after that. Never during the day, always after dark. He sat in the same chair, asked the same question. Why did you do it? And Alina gave the same answer. Because you didn't deserve to die. You don't know me. You don't know what I deserve. I know what I saw. A man who minds his business, who tips well, who reads the paper and drinks coffee and never hurts anyone. You see what I let you see. Then why do you keep asking me why I did it? On the 5th night, he finally told her. Because in my world, nobody does anything without a reason. Nobody jumps in front of bullets out of kindness. There's always an angle, always a plan. But I've had you investigated and you're exactly what you appear to be. A waitress. Broke. No criminal record. No connections. No reason to care if I lived or died. So that makes you either the most naive person I've ever met or the most dangerous. Alina almost laughed. You think I'm dangerous? I think you did something nobody does in my world. Something pure. And that scares people. It scares me. Why? He leaned forward. Because if you jumped in front of a bullet for no reason, what else might you do? People who act without calculation are unpredictable, and unpredictable is dangerous. I'm not dangerous. I'm just a waitress who made a stupid choice. No, his voice went quiet. You made a choice that changed everything, and now people are going to die because of it. The words hung in the air between them. What do you mean? Alina's mouth went dry. I have enemies. They saw what happened in that diner. They know you took a bullet for me. Now they think you matter to me, and anything that matters to me becomes a target. I don't matter to you. You don't even know me. Doesn't matter what's true, matters what they believe. He stood up. 2 men are dead already. Men who asked questions about you. Men who thought they could use you to get to me. There will be more. Alina felt cold. You killed them. I protected you. There's a difference. Is there? In my world, yes. He walked to the door. You're being released tomorrow. Someone will pick you up, take you somewhere safe. You'll stay there until I handle this. Handle what? The problem you created when you decided to be a hero. He left. Alina stared at the empty chair for a long time. The next morning, a woman arrived. She was older, maybe 50, with sharp eyes and sharper clothes. Her name was Rita. Pack light, Rita said. We're leaving in 20 minutes. Where are we going? Somewhere your face won't get anyone killed. The somewhere turned out to be a house outside the city. Big, isolated, guards at every entrance. Rita showed her to a bedroom on the 2nd floor. You'll stay here until Mr. Morty says otherwise. Everything you need is provided. Don't try to leave. Don't try to contact anyone. Don't make this harder than it already is. How long? As long as it takes. Rita's expression softened slightly. I know this seems extreme, but Dante's right. You painted a target on yourself the moment you jumped. The only way to remove it is to prove you don't matter. And the only way to prove that is to disappear. Alina spent 3 days alone in that house. Marco brought her meals, checked on her, but he wouldn't answer questions, wouldn't tell her what was happening outside. On the 4th night, Dante arrived. He looked tired. There was blood on his knuckles. He sat on the edge of her bed without asking permission. 3 more are dead, he said. Men who thought they could use you against me, men who were wrong. You killed them. I sent a message, don't touch what's mine. I'm not yours. Tell that to the bodies. He looked at her. This is what you started, Alina. When you jumped in front of that bullet, you made yourself part of my world. And in my world, mercy is weakness. Hesitation is death. You wanted to save 1 life, and now I've taken 5 to protect yours. Alina felt sick. I didn't ask for this. You didn't have to. You chose it the moment you moved. He stood up. There's 1 man left, the one who ordered the hit in the diner. His name is Volkov, Russian, ruthless. He wants me dead, and now he wants to know who you are and why you matter. So tell him I don't. I can't. Because somewhere between that diner and this room, you started to matter, and now I can't undo it. The admission hung between them, heavy and dangerous. What are you going to do? Alina asked. What I always do, win. He walked to the door. Volkov will be dead by morning, and then you can go home, back to your life, back to being nobody. Is that what you want? He stopped, turned. What I want doesn't matter. What's safe for you matters. That's not an answer. It's the only answer you're getting. He left. Alina didn't sleep. She listened to the sounds of the house, the guards changing shifts, the wind against the windows, the weight of 5 bodies pressing down on her conscience. Morning came, no word from Dante. Afternoon, still nothing. Evening, Rita appeared at her door. Her face was pale. Get your things, Rita said. What happened? Volkov's dead, but Dante been shot. He's alive, but it's bad. Alina's heart stopped. Where is he? Private hospital, across town. Marco's driving you. The hospital was small, expensive, discreet. Dante was in surgery when Alina arrived. She sat in the waiting room with Rita and Marco and 4 other men she didn't recognize. Nobody spoke. 4 hours later, a doctor emerged. He'll live, but it was close. Alina felt something break inside her chest. They let her see him that night. He was unconscious, pale, tubes and wires everywhere. She sat beside his bed and took his hand. You can't die, she whispered. Not after all this. Not after 5 bodies. You have to wake up and tell me this was worth it. His fingers twitched, just barely. She stayed all night. When he woke up 2 days later, his first word was her name. Alina. I'm here. Volkov. Dead, Rita said you got him. Good, he closed his eyes. It's done, you're safe now. At what cost? 6 bodies, my blood, fair trade. Dante, this can't keep happening. It won't. You go back to your life, forget the diner, forget the bullet, forget me. I can't. You have to. Why? Because I won't survive another round of protecting you. And next time, there will be a next time. There's always a next time in this life. Alina stood up, looked down at this man who had killed 6 people to keep her safe. This man who had taken a bullet because she jumped in front of one first. What if I don't want to forget? She said. Then you're a fool. Maybe, but I'm a fool who saved your life. Something changed in his eyes. Why do you keep doing that? Keep choosing this? Because someone has to. Because you're worth saving even if you don't think you are. He stared at her for a long time. If you stay, people will die. More than 6, maybe dozens. Everyone who thinks they can get to me through you. Everyone who sees you as weakness. Then make me strength. What? You said I'm unpredictable, that I'm dangerous because I act without calculation. So teach me to calculate. Teach me your world. Make me something they can't use against you. You don't know what you're asking. I jumped in front of a bullet. I think I've earned the right to know what that meant. Dante was quiet. Then he smiled, that rare, dangerous smile. Okay, he said. But when you regret this, and you will, remember that I tried to send you away. Alina didn't regret it, not at first. Rita taught her how to read people, how to spot lies, how to know when someone was planning something before they did it, how to turn observation into power. Marco taught her how to shoot, how to fight, how to survive if everything went wrong. Dante taught her the business, the real business, not the legal logistics company he showed the world. The other part, the part that dealt in power and fear and carefully measured violence. We don't sell drugs, Dante explained one night in his office. We don't traffic people. We don't do anything that creates victims who don't choose to be in the game. So what do? We control territory. We settle disputes. We enforce agreements that can't be enforced in courts. We're the law for people who can't go to the police. That's still crime. It's order. Without us, there's chaos, violence, innocents get hurt. We make sure violence is clean, targeted, deserved. You sound like you believe that. I have to believe it, otherwise I'm just a killer. Alina learned fast. Within 6 months, she was attending meetings, watching deals, reading contracts, finding problems before they became disasters. "She's good," Rita told Dante one evening. "Better than most of the men you have." "I know." "Then why do you look worried?" "Because she's becoming part of this world, really part of it, and I'm not sure I can protect her once she is." "She doesn't need protection. She needs purpose. You gave her that." 8 months after the shooting, Alina found the discrepancy. A shipment scheduled for Tuesday, a driver who was already assigned elsewhere, a route that made no sense. She brought it to Dante. He looked at the papers for a long time. "Who made this schedule?" "Paul, your logistics manager." "Get him in here." Paul was older, comfortable. He'd worked for Dante for 10 years. He looked annoyed when he arrived. "What's this about?" Paul asked. Dante showed him the papers. "Explain this." Paul glanced at them. "Just an error, I'll fix it." An error that would put 2 shipments at the same location, at the same time, at a location Volkov used to own before I killed him. The room temperature dropped. Paul's face went pale. "I don't know how that happened." "You made the schedule. How do you not know?" "Maybe someone changed it." "The log shows you were the last person to access this file." Paul started sweating. "Volkov's brother approached me months ago, said he'd kill my family if I didn't help him. I had no choice." "You always have a choice." Dante's voice stayed calm. "You chose wrong." "Dante, please, I have kids." "So do the people who would have died if Alina hadn't caught this." Dante stood up. "Your family will be protected. You won't." Alina watched Paul's face crumble. "Take him," Dante said to 2 men by the door. They took him. Alina heard the shot 10 minutes later. Single crack, then silence. She didn't throw up, didn't cry, just sat there and felt the weight of what she'd just caused. Dante sat beside her. "You just saved 30 lives. Paul betrayed them. You protected them." "He's dead because I found a mistake in a schedule." "He's dead because he made a deal with our enemies. You expedited the inevitable." "Does that make it better?" "No, it makes it necessary." Dante took her hand. "If you can't handle this, tell me now. I'll send you away. Give you money, make sure you're safe. But if you stay, this is what the work looks like. People die. Usually people who deserve it, sometimes people who don't. But they die and we move forward." Alina looked at their joined hands. "What happened to Volkov's brother?" "He'll be dead by morning, along with everyone who helped him plan this." "How many?" 12, maybe 15. "Because I found a scheduling error. Because they tried to kill 30 of our people and you stopped them." His grip tightened. "This is what you signed up for. This is the world you chose. So choose now, stay or go, but choose knowing what it means." Alina thought about the bullet, about Paul's face, about 12 more bodies that would be buried before sunrise. She thought about the 30 people who would live because she'd been paying attention. "I stay," she said. Dante's expression didn't change. "Then you're in, all the way, no going back." That night, Alina couldn't sleep. She kept seeing Paul's face, hearing the shot. Marco found her on the balcony at 3 in the morning. "Can't sleep?" he asked. "How do you do it? How do you live with the things we do?" Marco lit a cigarette. "I remember why we do them. Paul sold out 30 people to save his own skin. Those 30 people have families, kids. Paul chose himself over them. We chose them over him. It's not pretty, but it's math." "That's cold." "That's survival. This world doesn't run on mercy. It runs on consequences. You protect your people or you die." Alina learned to sleep after that. Learned to look at problems like equations instead of people who would die. She got good at it. A year after the shooting, Alina was running negotiations. Dante trusted her to read rooms, to spot traps, to know when someone was lying. She saved his life 3 times that year. Once by noticing a waiter who moved wrong. Once by catching a tell in a rival's eyes during a meeting. Once by simply saying, "We should leave now," 5 minutes before a building exploded. "You have instincts," Dante said after the explosion. The kind that can't be taught. Or I'm just paranoid. In this life, there's no difference. People started calling her Dante's ghost, the woman who saw everything, who knew everything, who appeared beside him and made grown men nervous. Alina didn't mind the reputation. It kept her alive. But it also made her a target. Dante's cousin Luca made his move 18 months after the diner's shooting. He didn't want Alina dead. He wanted her working for him. He sent men to take her, professional men. They failed. Marco put down 2. Alina put down 1 herself, gun in her hand, bullet in his chest, no hesitation. The 4th man ran. "You okay?" Marco asked. Alina looked at the body at her feet, the man she'd just killed. "I'm fine," she said. And she was. That was the scary part. Dante found her an hour later, cleaning blood off her hands. "Luca crossed a line," Dante said. "I'm going to kill him for this. He's your cousin. He sent men to take you. Family doesn't protect him from that. Killing him starts a war. Letting him live shows weakness." Alina turned off the water. "Then don't kill him, destroy him, strip him of everything, make him watch while you take his power piece by piece. Death is mercy, suffering is punishment." Dante stared at her. "When did you get so cold?" "When I killed a man in your hallway and didn't feel anything." She met his eyes. "You wanted me in this world. Here I am." They destroyed Luca over the next 3 months, took his territory, took his money, took his respect, left him with nothing but his life and the memory of what he used to be. It was worse than death. "You were right," Dante told Alina afterward. "This sent a better message." "I know. You're becoming dangerous." "I've been dangerous. You're just finally noticing." He smiled, pulled her close, kissed her. That was the first time. The first kiss led to others, led to nights in his penthouse, led to mornings waking up beside him. "This is a bad idea," Alina said one night. "I know. People will use me against you. They already try. This makes it easier." "I don't care." He pulled her closer. "I should have died in that diner. You gave me borrowed time. I'm spending it how I want. What if I die because of you? Then I'll burn the world down to join you." It wasn't romantic. It was a promise, a threat. Alina believed him. 2 years after the shooting, they married. Small ceremony. Just Rita and Marco and a handful of trusted people. "You know what this means," Rita said at the reception. "Every enemy he has is now yours." "I know. And you're okay with that." Alina thought about the bullet, about Paul, about the man she'd killed, about 2 years of blood and fear and impossible choices. "I jumped in front of a bullet for him before I knew his name," Alina said. "Everything after that has been inevitable." They found out she was pregnant 4 months later. Alina stared at the test. 3 lines, positive. "Dante." She called. He came running, saw her face, saw the test. "We're having a baby," she said. His expression cycled through shock, fear, joy, then back to fear. "This changes everything," he said. "I know. Every enemy we have will come for our child. Then we don't give them the chance." Alina set down the test. "We make our child the most protected person in this city. We build walls so high that no one can touch them. That's not a life for a child. It's the life we have. We make it work." Dante was gone for 3 days. When he came back, he looked tired, old. There was blood under his fingernails. "How many?" Alina asked. 18 people. 18 threats. People who might have seen our child as an opportunity. They won't see anything anymore." Alina should have been horrified, but all she felt was grateful. "Thank you," she said. Their daughter was born on a Tuesday, 7 pounds. Perfect. They named her Sophia. Dante held her like she was made of glass, tears streaming down his face. "I'll protect her, I swear it." "We'll protect her," Alina corrected. "Together." The first year was constant fear. Every time they left the house. Every time someone new entered their lives, every moment waiting for the next attack. It came when Sophia was 8 months old. A car bomb meant for Alina and the baby. Marco spotted it 30 seconds before it detonated, got them clear, barely. The explosion killed 2 guards and a passerby. Dante's response was immediate, brutal. He found everyone involved, 23 people. He didn't kill them quickly. Alina heard about it from Rita. He's sending a message. Anyone who comes near his family doesn't just die, they suffer. Good, Alina said. Let them know what happens. You've changed. I have a daughter to protect now. That changes everything. It did. Alina became harder, colder, more ruthless. She made decisions Dante wouldn't make. You're scarier than me now, Dante said one night after Alina ordered the elimination of an entire crew. Someone has to be. I created a monster. No, you gave a monster purpose. Alina looked at him. I was always this person. I just needed a reason to become it. Sophia's second birthday brought new threats. A rival family made a play for their territory. They thought Dante had gone soft, that having a family made him weak. They were wrong, but they weren't wrong about Alina. She made the call to end it, authorized the hit on the rival family's leadership. 8 men dead in one night. The threat ended. The territory stayed theirs. But Dante was furious. You didn't consult me, he said. There wasn't time. There's always time. Not when our daughter's life is at stake. Those men had families, kids. You made 8 children fatherless. They should have thought about that before threatening ours. Dante stared at her. When did you become this person? The moment you asked me why I jumped in front of a bullet. Everything after that was just learning to survive the answer. They didn't speak for 3 days. Rita finally intervened. You're both idiots. You're angry at Alina for becoming exactly what this life required. And Alina, you're angry at Dante for having a conscience when you've buried yours. You're both trying to protect the same thing. Your family, your daughter, each other. But you're doing it like enemies. Figure it out before Sophia's old enough to notice. That night, Alina found Dante in Sophia's room, watching her sleep. I'm sorry, Alina said. For what? For not being the woman you thought you were protecting. You're exactly who I thought. Strong, smart, willing to do what's necessary. He looked at her. I just didn't expect necessary to look like this. I killed 8 men without hesitation, made 8 children orphans, and I'd do it again if it kept Sophia safe. I know, that's what scares me. Are you scared of me? Sometimes. He stood up, walked to her, but I'm more scared of losing you. What have I become? Someone who survives, someone who wins, someone who makes the hard calls I'm too weak to make. You're not weak. I am, because I still feel it, every death, every order, but you've learned to carry it without breaking. That's not weakness, it's terrifying strength. Alina felt something crack. I do feel it, I just can't show it, can't let it slow me down, can't afford to break when Sophia needs me strong. Then break here, with me. She did. She broke down crying in his arms, for Paul, for the 18 people killed before Sophia was born, for the 8 men she'd ordered dead, for the woman she used to be. Dante held her through it, didn't tell her it was okay, just held her while she broke and helped her put herself back together. We're going to be okay, he said. How do you know? Because we're still here, still together, still fighting for the same things. Sophia turned 3, then 4, then 5. Each birthday brought new threats, new rivals. They were all wrong. Alina and Dante built an empire on the bones of people who underestimated them, built walls so high that their daughter grew up safe inside them. But Sophia wasn't stupid. By 6, she was asking questions. Why do we have guards? Sophia asked one morning. Alina and Dante exchanged looks. To keep us safe, Alina said. Safe from what? From people who want to hurt us. Why? Because your father and I do important work, and sometimes people don't like that work. Sophia thought about this. What kind of work? The kind that keeps a lot of people safe, but also makes some people angry. Is that why Uncle Marco carries a gun? Yes. Is that why you have a gun in your desk? Elena's blood went cold. How do you know about that? I saw it when I was looking for scissors. Dante walked to his office, came back with the gun. He sat beside Sophia. This is not a toy, he said. This is a tool, a dangerous tool. It's only used to protect people we love. Do you understand? Sophia nodded. Good, never touch it. If you see it, tell me or your mother. Why do you need it? Because sometimes protecting people requires difficult choices. Sophia looked at her parents. Are you bad people? Elena's heart broke. We're people who do what's necessary to keep you safe. Sometimes that means doing bad things, but we do them for good reasons. Like superheroes. Dante smiled sadly. Something like that. But Elena knew better. They weren't heroes. They were survivors. They were people who had made impossible choices and learned to live with them. That night, after Sophia was asleep, Elena stood on the balcony, looking at the city they controlled, the empire they'd built on blood and fear. Dante joined her. Do you regret it? He asked. Any of it? Elena thought about the diner, about the bullet, about the chain of deaths that followed, about becoming someone she never thought she'd be. No, she said finally, I don't regret it. Even knowing what it cost. Especially knowing what it cost. She turned to him. I jumped in front of a bullet for you. Everything that came after was just the price of that choice, and I'd make it again. Dante pulled her close. You saved my life that day. And you gave me one worth living. They stood there in the dark. Two people who had started with a bullet and ended with an empire. Two people who had learned that sometimes the only way to survive is to become exactly what you need to be. Even if that means becoming a monster. Even if that means losing who you were. Even if that means carrying the weight of dozens of bodies for the rest of your life. Because some choices don't need regret. Some choices just need acceptance. And Elena had accepted hers a long time ago. Thank you for watching this journey from a single bullet to an empire. Would you have jumped in front of that gun knowing what it would cost? And more importantly, would you have stayed? Drop your answer and where you're watching from in the comments below. Subscribe for more stories where one choice changes everything.